A couple years ago, if somebody was like, do you think it's possible to average a triple-double in the NBA, what would you have thought that? I would say, why not?
Big baller, on my way to a triple-double.
Westbrook's got his triple-double.
Triple-double, triple-double.
Move over, hang up.
What he's doing is just electrifying. He just attacks everybody.
There's no player like myself.
He's made the triple-double look so easy.
This shit ain't easy, though. I'll tell you that.
No, it is not. And let me repeat it myself again. One of the worst takes I ever had, people thought, was that the Knicks should trade for Russell Westbrook.
You said
no. I said later, what a mistake I made thinking that. What a mistake I made thinking they shouldn't. Again, he's been amazing. Down the stretch, amazing.
You said no.
No, I didn't.
Oh,
I said they should, and of course, I was eviscerated for it. But still, the way he's playing right now, so making history in this run that he's had down the stretch. So the Wizards win yet again. They beat the Pacers 133-132. I mean, you see the block he had.
It was a crazy game.
At the end to seal the game, the block, but another triple-double, 33, 19, and 15 assists with the 2 blocks certainly as well.
Alan, just to add, he is dynamic. He is special. But I don't know if people know how good Bradley Beal is too, though. Like the two of those together, I mean, it's like it's watching a video game with those two.
So
most dynamic backcourt there is in the league.
So 2
now,
months
right now,
yes,
yeah.
2 months ago, people were screaming he should get out of there. Bradley Beal, he should go. He should go. He should go. Now what?
I'm still saying he should go. I'm not saying he should go.
Why can't somebody come?
That's true. Somebody could want to be in D.C.
Right. Why can't somebody come with those two instead of him departing?
You'd have to be – that's a tough pairing to play with since they both dominate the basketball. One shoots – going to have a high-volume shot, and the other guy's going to have the ball in his hands. What they need is a big who is an incredible rebounder, defender, that kind of guy.
So let me ask you this, Jay,
like a Julius Randle.
Let me ask you
this.
But
he's not leaving New York.
Yeah,
I know.
No, but I don't even think that's a good fit either because he holds the ball so much.
As the basketball guy, what's different than the other 3 that's here in Brooklyn? Before they came here, all of them was ball dominant.
No.
Except maybe Kevin wasn't ball dominant.
But James Harden also, don't forget, James Harden was almost averaging a triple-double. I mean, he's incredible assist to watch. I mean, Russ is incredible assist to watch.
You said
but it's, yeah. No, it's a fair point.
I mean, they've got to figure that out. But the problem, of course, will be the cap. The cap is the bigger issue, of course, with them.
I'm not even talking about money, though. I'm just talking about why can't Bradley Beal and Russ stay in D.C. and somebody come and then they become what Brooklyn is.
Very true.
That's all I'm asking.
Well, that's the question, of course, is who'd be that
So you
third
don't have
guy.
an answer.
Those 3 guys have a relationship in Brooklyn. The previous relationship. What about Russ and what about Bradley Beal? And that's what you have to ask is who do they have that would be on in their Rolodex that would show up. But anyways, so tonight in Atlanta, the Wizards play the Hawks, and he could go for now the record when it comes to triple-doubles to break the one by Oscar Robertson for the most in NBA history. It's again, they're tied right now at 181 of his career, his 35th, by the way, of this season in a 17-game season.
So 181, 180. So he gonna get that. If he don't get this year, he gonna get it next year.
Yeah, that's what you figure. But it could be even tonight against
He'll get it.
Atlanta. Here's Westbrook, by the way, talking about the Big O.
To be, in a conversation with Oscar, for one, I want to just thank him because he set the stage and he sacrificed a lot of things for us to be able to go out and play. And the times he played in and the things he was able to do back in the day has allowed me to be able to do the things I want to do today. And I'm just grateful for him and I'm grateful for his words. And I'm so appreciative of his support as well.
And I'll tell you what, one thing that Oscar Robertson actually said about Russell Westbrook, that he thinks it's ridiculous that people don't consider him one of the all-time greats because he hasn't won a championship. I remember Oscar Robertson had to win a championship. He ended up moving on to Milwaukee, or they traded him, believe it or not, to Milwaukee. They told the Big O, like, you're done here in Kansas City. And he was like, are you serious? Like, I can't play anymore? They send him to Milwaukee, and he gets with Lou Alcindor, and they win a championship.
The cap, man.
Yeah, and they win a championship. So maybe that's later in his career same, but still.
That's kind of what – that's why when we were talking about – when I brought up Bradley Beal, Westbrook, can somebody go there? Because for me, I love Westbrook. He's from L.A. He just – I've been knowing him since he was in high school. But it's one of those scenes where I don't want him to not finish the deal by not having a championship, but I also don't want him to sit on the end of the bench at the end and find himself on a championship team. I want him to be a significant
primary
significant
player.
part of a championship team because he deserves it. Just like CP3, man, they deserve to win at least one.
Yeah, but CP3 and Russ are so, I agree with you. I agree with you. They get it. They're just so it's interesting how they're both perceived. Russell Westbrook will never get the credit that he deserves, Key. He will never get it. You know why? He's the Cam Newton of the NBA. He's the polarizing figure that people like to find something wrong with. Like, look, we have Stephen A. Smith sound where Stephen's like, oh, we've seen you do it before. We've seen you do the triple-doubles before. People expect this. I hate, like, a lot of casual basketball fans say, well, it's just stat fillers. Do you know how hard it is to have a triple-double almost every night?
Stat fillers.
People say that, though. Well, this is what he does.
What's his greatest asset to this, though? What's his greatest attribute that allows him to do this?
Effort.
Motor. Thank you.
Motor. And that's a skill set that not everybody has to play that hard all the time. Question his jump shooting ability. Fine. Even though against Indiana, he was making shots left and right. It looked tough to watch that game. And that block was serious down the stretch. But you can't teach that, man. That's built in your DNA.
But you could question.
You need to pair that with something great in order to help him win a championship. But he's a major piece of winning one. But you need the right people to surround him with that talent.
You could pick holes, and I'm sure, in everybody's game in sports in general. Well, he can't shoot here. He's not fast there. He drops too many balls there. He doesn't see. I mean, you can always find a reason to dislike somebody. I mean, you mentioned his jump shooting. Okay, so what? He still keep dropping 42 on your head?
Yeah.
I don't care if he's getting it. I don't care if he's getting it from the free throw line or if he's getting it from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
He's still getting it. What's the difference? It's almost like in football where you hear Lamar Jackson's passing, his yardage, but in the end, his total yards is 200 in the air, $150 on the ground. It's 350. And if I gave you 350 from a traditional quarterback, you'd be like, oh, my God.
The only caveat, though, Key, is like when it comes down to stretch, when we're putting these guys in that upper echelon category and you need a bucket down the stretch, it's the same conversation we have about Giannis, right, to a degree. But yeah, you can do it all day long, but when you need a bucket down the stretch and people know what your strengths are, can you do it differently?
But what type of bucket, though, right? Because if you only need two.
But if we're in a half court, Key, like, I'm not going to give you a run at the rim. I'm not going to allow you to.
But he's going to blow past you anyway, though.
Okay, now if I stack the lane.
He gonna
that's what teams do with Giannis.
He gonna elevate over you.
But that's what teams have done against even Houston in the playoffs. Stack the lane, beat us from the outside, beat us like down the stretch. And I hear what people are saying. They're talented. They're crazy. I'm the one saying it. But when it comes down to a game-winning bucket in the playoffs, when you need one, when they're stacking the lane,
he hasn't been consistent at doing that. But I mean,
I'm not knocking him. I know
it's
you're not.
You explain it.
Yeah.
You're not knocking him. But when a dude can blow past you and go to the cup. One dribble, he at the free throw line, he already at the rim.
Yeah,
I mean, you gotta marvel at that love that.
That's the thing, and also while it's happening, we appreciate it because we always do try
bunny
to find
hopping
the
from the
weaknesses
free
and
throw
stuff.
line.
But Westbrook, 35 triple-doubles this season, already owns the distinction, by the way, of having the most triple-doubles in a season. He had 42 in 2016-17. Stats Incredible, brought to you by My Computer Career Training for a Better Life. We did plan on talking Celtics here and what's happening in Boston right now, major issues there. We will get to that a little bit later on in the show. Yeah, right, the opposite of Westbrook, right? Their motor is low. But how much, as we get into football, how much are the Packers willing to wager on their future with Aaron Rodgers? That's next after Jay has this from Straight Talk Wireless.